Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of March 14th, 2024. So we are going to see Delhi edition of Hindu here, and we are going to pick out the articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. So we are not going to waste our time unnecessarily spending on irrelevant articles. Only relevant articles we are going to discuss. And what are the articles we are picking out? We are going to see in a multi-dimensional manner. And we are going to connect a single topic with the different subjects also, so that you will be having a wide range of knowledge, and that will be very helpful for developing of perspectives and to write a very good mains answer, and even to write an essay. It is very important. That is exercise we are going to do with this Hindu news analysis. And one more thing here is we are going to conduct prelims mentorship program that is free of cost, and that is for only offline as of now. So if you are staying in this Ashok Nagar or in Hyderabad, you can come and you can take the test. To take the test, you have to come to the office and fill the form, or else in WhatsApp also I will be sending you the form digitally. You can fill that form, so that on March 17th at 10 o'clock you will be having an exam. So in that exam, we are going to conduct a test for 50 questions of your prelims, and later on after this test you will be having evaluation, and you have to spend half an hour to fill a form that we are going to give you, like in which subject how many questions are correct and how many questions are wrong, and why correct and why they are wrong. And based on that you will be having one-to-one mentorship, and we will give you some guidance like how to prepare for the next 2 months of time. So if you attend that test, and there will be high chances of clearing this prelims. If you want to clear this prelims and comment, do register and take the test on 17th March at 10 a.m. Okay. So now let us see the first article in this front page. So title says Supreme Court to hear plea to include CJI on EC selection panel. So this article is especially talking about new rules for the appointment of election commissioner and as well as CEC. So this article is at most important, and whenever you are seeing any article regarding election commission, that will be important from our examination point of view. Okay, so now let us see the dimensions. So this article is talking about appointment of EC and CEC. So this article is at most important. Okay. So here you have to see Election Commission of India. So in your Polity Lakshmikant in Constitutional Bodies topic, so you will be seeing this topic of Election Commission of India. So here you have to know which are the constitutional provisions which talk about Election Commission of India, and you have to remember one article for sure, that is Article 324. And even whenever you are writing any mains answer regarding Election Commission of India, so in introduction start with this Article 324. Okay, and you have to see like who are the members. So we have 3 members. So one is Chief Election Commissioner and other 2 members are ECs, Election Commissioner. And here you have to see eligibility criteria. So you have to see eligibility criteria and whether they are eligible for reappointment or not. That is the thing that you have to see. And apart from that, you have to see what is the appointment process. So who is gonna appoint these members? And next important thing here is you have to see even recent developments. So recent developments regarding new appointment process of this election commission and as well as CEC, and you have to see what are the loopholes here. So because of the loopholes only, petition which is filed Okay, petition is filed in Supreme Court and Supreme Court is going to listen this, right? So this is very important thing, and from this area you can expect a mains question. And even you have to see what are the functions and what is the mandate of Election Commission of India. And you can also see like State Election Commission also, and you can see functions and mandate. So to which elections SEC is conducting, that is the thing you have to see. And you have to even think about how this Election Commission of India is maintaining free and fair elections. And from this area also you can expect your mains question. And many a times already UPSC asked question from this Election Commission of India from mains and as well as prelims. And even we can understand that this is one of the favorite area of UPSC. Okay, so don't leave this topic. So try to revise this Election Commission of India topic in your Lakshmikant at least thrice or 4 times. Okay, so now let us see this topic in detail. Yes, I said about this free test plus mentorship, right? So this will be absolutely very useful, that I can see, because you are having 2 months of time to your prelims. So if you are not having the confidence and if you are not knowing like how to prepare for next 2 months so that you can increase, okay, you can increase your score in your prelims for sure. And there's a high chance of clearing prelims if you are taking this test, because we are not only conducting the test, so we are evaluating your performance and we are assessing. So we are giving you the assessment, and based on that we are also going to give you advice, and we will let you know which are your strong areas, which are your weak areas, and in which subject you can go for guesswork. And we will also give you the plan like how can you study. And apart from this test, we are also going to conduct free classes also for next 2 months. So those classes will be provided for the students who enrolled for this free mentorship, who registered for this test. Okay, so you can come and you can take this test so that you can clear your prelims, because we are not going to waste your time. So time is very much precious for you, me, everyone, because once we lost the time we can't get it back. So here in the classes also we are going to discuss only the topics which are at most important from prelims, and there is a high chance of getting the questions from those topics we are going to discuss in the class. An entire class it is, especially based on the prelims oriented only, so that there will be no wastage of your time. So every day the class will be for around 1 to 1.5 hours. Okay, so try to come and get registered and take the test, and that is going to be conducted on 17th March on this Sunday. Okay, so now let us see this topic, and this topic is important from your GS paper too, right? So if you see context, it says that Supreme Court finally agreed to hear a plea, that is petition, which said center could take unfair advantage while filling 2 vacancies of election commissioners in Election Commission of India. So actually what happened recently, you know that one of the election commissioner, he resigned. Okay, even though he didn't complete his tenure, but he resigned. So later on we got many articles like there are differences between chief election commissioner and as well as election commissioner. So because of this is the one reason that led to resignation of election commissioner. So this article is talking about in appointment of this election commissioners. So these posts are vacant now. So there may be unfair advantage can be taken by the center. So now let us see the details which are given here. So a bench which is headed by Justice Sanjeev Khanna agreed to list for hearing the plea by NGO Association for Democratic Reforms. Okay, so actually you will be knowing about this ADR. So whenever you are talking about political parties like funding etc., so ADR will be giving report, Association for Democratic Reforms. So this ADR, it is NGO, and this NGO which filed a petition regarding this election or appointment of this election commissions. Okay, So now let us see what is this new law to appoint this Chief Election Commissioner and as well as Election Commissioner. So you have to know this new law. So according to this new law, so the name of this act is Chief Election Commissioners Appointment, Conditions of Service and Terms of Office Act of 2023. Okay. So this 2023 Act which says that it replaced Election Commission Conditions of Service of Election Commissioners Transactions of Business Act of 1991. So this 1991 Act has been replaced by this new Act of 2023. And actually this 1991 Act which says that appointment, salary and removal of this CEC, that is Chief Election Commissioner and as well as Election Commissioners. And according to these provisions of new law, CEC and ECs, they will be appointed by the President and that too upon the recommendations of Selection Committee. Okay, so the problem here is, so this new act which is saying that Chief Election Commissioners and Election Commissioners, they will be appointed by President and that too upon the recommendations of a Select Committee. And this Select Committee, who are the members? So this members is one controversy, that is our Prime Minister, and there is one Union Cabinet Minister and Leader of Opposition member, or if the Leader of Opposition is not there, means the Leader of largest opposition party in Lok Sabha. Okay, so here what happened, Prime Minister and Cabinet Minister, they will be from same ruling party, right? So there is only one person, that is from Leader of Opposition. And under the legislation, a search committee which is headed by Union Law Secretary, they will propose a panel of names to the Selection Committee, and according to the new law, salary of the CEC and EC will be equivalent to the judges of Supreme Court. If CEC or EC passes any order, and that cannot be challenged in any court of law. So this is also one important thing that you have to remember, which is regarding the new law. And next one is, why was the new law to appoint CEC and ECs challenged? So what are the reasons? So what are the loopholes that you identified? So let us see those. So first and foremost thing here is this NGO, that is ADR, is arguing that new law also went against the Supreme Court ruling. So Supreme Court in this Anu Baranwal case, which restricted the government's power to appoint CEC and EC, but this new law is increasing the power of government to appoint the CEC and EC. First important thing. And new law which excludes CJI, so instead of CJI, we have Cabinet Minister. Okay. So in this way, it is affecting independent mechanism for the appointment of members of Election Commission. And in this way, it is violating the principle of free and fair elections. Okay. So there is no independent mechanism because CJI is replaced with whom? That is Cabinet Minister. So because of this, it is violating the principle of free and fair elections. And next one is, the functioning of ECI greatly determines the quality of governance and as well as strength of democracy, fairness and transparency in the procedure of appointment. So it is becoming very crucial. And the petitioners, they also say that this new law has against the concept of separation of powers. Yes, we have this concept called as separation of powers. So we have different organs like legislature, so we have executive and we have judiciary. So these are the three important organs of state, right? So legislation have the work to make laws. So what is the work? To make laws. And executive to implement laws. So executive need to implement laws. And what is the work of judiciary? Judiciary it is to interpret the laws. To interpret the laws. So if any law which is against our constitution means that will be struck down and that is said as unconstitutional and null and void. So this is the meaning of interpretation of laws. But here what happens, so in this appointment process, so here especially in this appointment of Chief Election Commissioner as well as election commissioners, so there is increased involvement of executive. Okay, so because of this, it is violating the power of separation of powers. And next one is Supreme Court had in the past held that mandamus issued by Supreme Court cannot be overruled by legislature. And separation of power is also one of the basic structure of constitution. But this basic structure of constitution which is affected here because there is the violation of separation of powers is seen. So because of this, the petitioner who filed petition against new act of appointment of CEC and EC in Supreme Court. Clear? And we have to wait and watch like what Supreme Court will tell. And now let us move on to our page. Okay, Hindu front page. So this is the only article which is important from our front page. And you can move on to the city page. So in city page there is nothing much important. And in today's newspaper I found like very less number of articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. Don't waste much time on reading irrelevant articles. So I will be saying continuously. Because I saw like many students are spending a lot of time, okay, in reading newspaper on especially irrelevant articles. So irrelevant articles fetch you nothing. It is just waste of your time. Okay, now let us move on to next page. So our page is full of like advertisements, right? Yes, you can directly move on to editorial page. So even this editorial page and text and context also, most of the articles are like we discussed earlier only. So we are not going to take much more time even to discuss them. Okay. So let us see the important article from editorial, that is India's R&D funding breaking down the numbers. So this article is very important because it is talking about India's spending in R&D. So first of all, you have to know what is the importance of R&D. So R&D means nothing but research and development. Okay, research and development. So this topic is important from your science and technology. Okay, which comes in the GS paper 3. So this is the normal thing. Like everyone will be thinking like, so this research and development is only from science and technology. No, it is the wrong perception. So even it is important from GS paper 3 under economy. Only GS paper 3 economy? No. Even it is important from GS paper 2 under IR. Okay, now let us see the dimensions. So you have to understand why research and development is important. Okay, so what are the advantages of research and development? So as you all know that India wants to improve its exports. India wants to become the third most largest economy in the world soon, right? So in that ambitious world, yes, we have to focus on this research and development. So when you're focusing on research and development, we can have some new advancements. We can go for new advancements. So that will helpful for overall development of our country and overall economy. As you all know that we are importing a lot. Okay, we are importing a lot. So this is the one important reason for increasing of trade deficit. So why there is increasing of trade deficit? Because we are importing a lot rather than exporting. Why? So we are not having that much technology. So we are importing advanced technology. So if we are spending in this research and development, and if you are getting the new technology, then we as a country will become superior in technology and we will be starting exporting the things to other countries. Yes or no? So in this way we can achieve our target of third world largest economy in the world. Yes or no? And actually what happened here is, if you see from international relations, we have different types of countries. Yes or no? Yes, right? First one is developed countries. Second one is developing countries. And next one is least developed countries, LDCs. So developed countries, for example, we have Japan, US, UK, France, Russia, like that. Developing countries like third world countries, India is one example. And least developed countries are like sub-Saharan African countries. Or you can write like African countries like that, they are less developed countries. So what happened, these developed countries, why they are called as developed countries? Because they are advanced in science and technology. They are spending a lot in research and development. So developing countries, you are having technology, but that is not par or not. We cannot compare that with these developed countries. And least developed countries, they will be looking at these developing countries and developed countries to get technology, right? So one harsh reality I want to say is, we are importing lots and lots of defense related equipments or any equipments with memorandum of understandings with the different countries. Even with Israel also we had one missile called as Barak, yes or no? And with Russia we have BrahMos. And from France we are getting Rafale jets, yes or no? So these are the countries where we are getting technology which is used in the defense and even different arms. So recently CIPRI is saying that France emerged as a second country which is largely importing, and we are getting most of our arms import from France. This is second country. And from Russia we are getting like 36% of our arms, yes or no? So here one important thing here is why we are importing from other countries, because we are not spending enough in this research and development. So if you are spending well enough in this research and development, we will be having advanced technology. We don't need to see in other countries. And one more thing I can say here is, even if you are importing the technology from other countries, it is not the latest. So that is the outdated technology in their countries that is given to India. In India, that will become the new technology. And even one more problem here is, whenever we are getting imports of defense, anything from other countries, they are not giving the technology transfer. That means if there is, for example, we are getting this Rafale jets, if there is any problem in this Rafale, means we have to take that Rafale to that country, but they are not giving the technology like how we can make it correct. Okay, so this is also one problem with this research and development. And even if you are talking from economy point of view, you have to see like how much amount of GDP we are spending, okay, in this research and development. Okay, so if you are spending a lot, yes, we are having lots and lots of advantages, because we are enjoying demographic dividends. So working age population is very high in India, unlike Japan. So in Japan, what is happening? So there is decreasing of old age, there is decreasing of engaged people, and there is decreasing of old age people day by day. But in India, we are enjoying this demographic dividend. So if you are spending in this research and development, yes, India will be the top most developed country soon. So this is the confidence that I am having. Okay. So here in this context, so this article says that, so how much amount we are spending in research and development. And this article is saying that in interim budget, so how much allocation is given for this research and development. And what are the problems we are seeing in this research and development. So what are the advantages that we are going to have if you are spending in this research and development. So all these are given in this article, and we are going to see that article in detail. Okay. So whenever we are talking about research and development, please don't think that it is related to only the science and technology part. Even it is related to international relations, even it is related to our economy. And one more dimension that we can add here is, it is also dependent for our society. So our society is also very important, because how it is going to impact our society. Why? Because earlier Earlier there was no technology, so people used to walk on foot. Later on they used animals, and later on, after invention of wheel, they used carts. And now in rural areas even they are using cars, buses, etc. for transport. So because of this advancements in our science and technology, that is making our human life easy and easy day by day. So in any house that you see now, we have fans. In some houses we can see like mixies, grinders, and in some houses they are having microwave ovens. Okay, so in this way it is making our life very much easy. Okay, so from that point of view, you have to see like what is the impact on the society. Okay, so these are the very important things that you have to think. So now let us see this article in detail. So if we are talking about India's R&D funding, UNESCO defines R&D, that is research and development, as research and development. It is any creative systematic activity. So it is any systematic activity which is undertaken in order to increase the stock of knowledge. For example, there is increasing of knowledge of men and also culture and society, and use of this knowledge to devise new applications. So because of this, government is also coming up with lots and lots of schemes for indulging youth in this science and technology. For example, STEM scheme. And even we are celebrating this National Science Day, and the theme of this 2024 National Science Day is Science for Sustainable Development, and we are focusing on how to achieve the science and sustainable development goals by using the science and technology. And next, we are also focusing on, in India, the government undertakes 60% of expenditure on research and development, but in other countries here, private institutions, they are spending in research and development, but in India, so most of the expenditure that will be coming from government institutions, not from private. So if you are talking about India's Innovation Index in 2021, so this index had founded that overall spending on research and development by India, which has been relatively very low across the country. And India's R&D expense has dropped to current 0.6% of GDP from 0.8% in 2008 to 2009 and 0.7% in 2017 to 18. Okay, so you can see there is a gradual increase. Okay, normally what happened? So from 2008 to 2008 was like 0.8%, and now in this 2017 to 2018 it had been increased to 0.7%. But here if you are talking about in the world, so how they are spending? So they are spending around 1.8%. That means about double. Okay, double spending is seen in this research and development if you are comparing with the other countries. And 2013 Science, Technology and Innovation Policy, which said that increasing of expenditure on R&D to 2%, which is a national goal. But we are not following those goals. So there is a very less spending which is seen. And if you see like other developed countries like US and UK, so US is spending between 2 to 4% of their GDP in this research and development. And in 2021, OECD member countries, they said that average investment is 2.7% of GDP in their R&D. So in this context, what we have to learn? So we have to learn like other countries are investing a lot, why can't India? So if you are spending more, we will be having most of the advantages. So in this way, we can think about this. And if you are talking about issues in this R&D, so there is a very low spending in this R&D that we can understand by seeing the data. And this one is there is low private participation. So most of this spending like 60% in India in this R&D, which is coming from government only, that is from public fund. And this one is fund deficit. Anusandhan National Research Foundation, which is facing delays in implementation as strategies for reining private sector fund remain unclear. So actually even the private sector, they are coming forward, so there is unclear regarding the mechanism of spending in R&D. And this one is there is underutilization of budget. So ministries such as Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology, consistently they are underutilizing whatever the budgets which are allocated for research and development. And next one is patent ownership. So majority of these patents are filed by India, they are owned by MNCs, that is multinational companies, with less than 10% owned by Indian companies. So in this way we can see there is a lot of gap that is seen in indigenous invention and as well as technological development. So these MNCs, they are not based on India, but these are based on different countries. And there is also lack of collaboration. So there is a weak linkage between private and academia, okay, which we are comparing with other countries like Europe and America. That thing that we are lacking, okay, there is no proper link between students and as well as private industry. And even there is diverse education standards. So Indian education system is diverse in standards, so it is impacting the quality of research. So there are some institutions which are focusing on research in PhDs like that, but in India what are the institutions are there, so they are not focusing much on research. So this is also one important issue. And apart from that, there is also very less focus towards research and development at university levels. And there is also very weak enforcement of IPRs, that is intellectual property rights. And there is also inadequate enforcement of intellectual property right in some areas, despite there are improvements in this IPR regime. And there is also non-competitive global R&D, that is despite a growing talent pool, Indian R&D remains globally non-competitive. So it is not much competitive with the international things. And this one is what can be done. So we can focus on increasing of funding. So at least 3% of GDP spending can be done in R&D. And next one is there is a need of political will. Political will is very important to prioritize and to increase R&D expenditure. And even we have to diversify the resources, okay, funding resources, and even we can encourage this private sector to participate in this research and development. So we can give, the government can provide some incentives like tax rebates, foreign direct investments, etc. And even we can simplify regulatory mechanisms to build investor confidence, okay, and we can attract FDI destinations in R&D and India. And we can also focus on capacity building. There is a need to enhance bureaucratic capacity for evaluating science projects, and we have to focus on regular inspection, and we have to provide some incentives. And in this way here we can proceed forward in this research and development. So in this way it will be helpful for our country at large. Yes, now let us see next topic. So next topic, it is also from our editorial page. So this is about CAA topic, that is Constitutional Amendment, Citizenship Amendment Act. So I discussed this topic in our yesterday's class, so we are not going to discuss that again. And this topic is about civil engineering as well, so it is not much important from UPSC point of view. But if you are writing KPSC, that is Karnataka Public Service Examination, so this is important. So students from Karnataka PSA, you can see this topic. And here this article is important, that is about TEPA, that is Trade Economic Partnership Agreement. So recently we came up with this agreement that signed with EFTA, right? So that is very important, and already we discussed this topic, and once again we are going to see this topic again. So if you see this article is important from your economy point of view. So here you have to understand what is the meaning of free trade agreement and why we need this, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of this. And EFTA, that is European Free Trade Association, it is very important because there are 4 countries which part of this EFTA, and there may be the chance of getting question regarding which of the following countries are part of this EFTA in your prelims. So in this way also you can expect question in your prelims. So if you see context, it says that India European Free Trade Association signed Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement. India has been working on TEPA with EFTA countries So there are 4 countries which part of this EFTA. So first one is Switzerland, Iceland, Norway and Liechtenstein, that is CSLIN, SLIN. Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Iceland and Norway. So what is this agreement is all about? So this agreement is to encourage investments and enhance trade in goods and services between the two parties. And what is this EFTA? So from this EFTA also you can get question from these statements. So please be focused. So EFTA, it is intergovernmental organization of 4 countries, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway and Switzerland. So it was set up in year 1960 by Stockholm Convention. It is very important. Okay, so then there were like 7 member states for the promotion of free trade and economic integration. So this organization which operates parallel with European Union, and all 4 member states, they participate in European single market and they are part of Schengen area. Okay, and if you are talking about a TEPA, that is Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement, so India signed a trade agreement with 4 nation EFTA, and this agreement is officially dubbed Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement. The agreement comprises of 14 chapters with main focus is done on market access related to goods, rules of origin, trade facilitation, trade remedies, etc. And this is India's 4th such agreement since 2014. So this is also very important. And previously we had this type of agreement with Mauritius, with UAE and Australia. Now we are having with this EFTA. It is very important. So what is significance of this TEPA for India? Because we will be getting some trade opportunities. So first one is trade opportunities. So it will empower Indian exporters to have access to specialized inputs and even to create conducive trade and investment environment, and even that will be helpful for increasing of our Indian exports to other countries, and even it will provide opportunities to integrate into European Union markets. So there are about 40% of Switzerland's global services, the exports are going to this European Union. And Indian companies, they can look to Switzerland as a base for extending its market so that we can reach till this European Union, so that we can increase our exports, and that will help for overall development of our economy. And this one is, there is also diverse supply chain. So it will help India diversify imports away from China, and even that will be boost to make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, so that it will be encouraging domestic manufacturing in various sectors. And also we can focus on increasing of infrastructure, increasing of connectivity, and it is also helpful for increasing of manufacturing, even machinery, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, food processing industries, and transport and logistics sector, bank and financial services, even insurance. And even we can create a large number of direct and indirect job facilities. So in this way, this TEPA is very important. So now let us see one mains question. I want to give you one mains question for you. That is, India EFTA Pact is a watershed movement for India. In this context, discuss the benefits that India can avail from the deal and challenges. So I discussed detailedly about this benefit, so you can write benefits and please think about challenges. Okay, clear? Yes, now let us move on to next page of Hindu. So you can directly move on to this text and context. In this text and context, there are 2 articles important. So on judges and bureaucrats joining politics. So what happened here is, you can see like judges after retirement and even bureaucrats, they are joining politics. Okay, so we have to see like what is the reason and how can we avoid this. So why? Because if there is any nexus between politicians and bureaucrats, that will be danger to our entire country, our entire democracy itself, because they will be doing some favor whenever they are in power. So after that, what happened? So whenever these judges and bureaucrats are retiring, okay, so they will be getting some offer from this political parties, okay, and after the retirement they will be going and joining these political parties. So because of that, whenever they are in office, so they will be doing some favors to these political parties, and political parties, they will be showing some greed to these bureaucrats and judges. So because of this article is very important, and this article you can connect even with your ethics. Okay, ethics. So now let us see from ethics point of view. Ethics which comes in the GS paper 4, like how can we maintain work culture. And this topic is also important from probity in governance. So it is important from probity in governance and work culture point of view. And even you have to see what happens with this political party and bureaucrat nexus. So in this topic you can get case study. Either it may be like 15 marker case study or 20 marker case study you can expect from this area. So now let us see this topic in detail. So why it is in news? Because a judge of Supreme Court, after ceasing to hold office, cannot appear as a lawyer before any court or any authority in India. So once a judge of Supreme Court, after ceasing to hold office, so again he will be not having a chance to appear as a lawyer before any court or any authority in India. And even CAG, Comptroller Auditor General, and the chairman or members of Public Service Commission, they cannot take up any other employment with central or state government after demitting. That means after resigning from the office. But there is no restrictions when it's come to joining political parties. So they are having a chance to join these political parties and to contest in elections or being nominated to certain post. So this is the issue now. So Election Commission had in 2012 recommended Union government to provide a cooling off period for top bureaucrats. That means after retirement, so they should not directly go and indulge in this political party activity. So they have to take some time, like 2 years to 3 years of time after their retirement. So this is the recommendation which is given by Election Commission of India in 2012. And next topic it is about Russia-Ukraine war, but Indians are involving in this war and they are losing their life. So Indian youth, they are recruited by organized crime units and they are keeping these Indians in this Russia-Ukraine war. So already we discussed this topic regarding human trafficking. So please do revise all those dimensions that we already discussed in this human trafficking topic. So just let us see what this article is talking about. So context says that death of 2 Indian nationals. So 2 Indian nationals in ongoing Russia-Ukraine war and the recent raids by the Central Bureau of Investigation, that is CBI, did recent raids that led to uncovering of human trafficking network. So CBI came up with this investigation and they found that yes, human trafficking network is going on and that network is recruiting Indians as security helpers and other personals for Russian military. So it is a one cause of concern now. So as per the CBI, the organized network which has been found, and that organized network is recruiting Indian youth through social media platforms and by using some local agents and offering them paid jobs. And also they are showing like creative employment opportunities in Russia. And the Indian government is in talks with these Russian authorities about the early release of Indian citizens who were dumped into working with this Russian military. Okay. So these are some important things which are mainly said in this article. And these are the most important topics from our today's Hindu analysis. And now let us go to this paper once again and let us see if there are any articles relevant from our examination point of view. So you can go to this news page. So in this page I found one article which is important, that is Uttarakhand bill on uniform civil code gets president's nod. So uniform civil code is very important and finally it got president's nod. Okay, so let us see this Uniform Civil Code. Okay, UCC. So you have to see some dimensions like what is this Uniform Civil Code and which article in our constitution, like constitutional provision which talks about this Uniform Civil Code. And you have to see like this Uttarakhand is the first state in our independent country to have this Uniform Civil Code. So other than this, we have Goa with this Uniform Civil Code. And you have to see like what are the arguments. So what are the arguments in favor and even against this Uniform Civil Code? Arguments in favor and Uniform Civil Code. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to see. And one more thing that I have to discuss is the process of passing a bill. Okay, so bill to become an act or law, it have to pass some stages. So first one is this bill which be introduced in the house. Okay, in house it is introduced, and in the house they will be going for DDV, debates, discussion and voting. After voting, if that bill is deemed to be passed, and this bill is placed in the second house. Okay, and in the second house also they will be going for DDV, discussion, debate and voting. And after it is passed, it will be placed before president. Okay, so whenever president is giving assent, then that bill will become an act. Okay, finally what happened, this bill, it is related to state legislative assembly. So in assembly that bill has been passed, and even it went to governor, and from governor it went to president, and finally president gave the nod, and that Uttarakhand Civil Code bill became an act. And from now onwards there will be Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand. Clear? And in the next page you can see One Nation One Poll panel may submit report today. So One Nation One Poll is nothing but simultaneous elections, and once the report is submitted we will be getting lots of articles, and there we are going to have the discussions. And now let us move on to other pages. Here you can see Supreme Court stop Assam government move to de-notify rhino habitat. So actually this Assam is very much famous for this rhinoceros, not only in this Kaziranga National Park but even this Poibitora Wildlife Sanctuary. Yes, we can see the good number of this rhinoceros. Okay, Supreme Court froze the Assam government's move to withdraw almost 26 years old notification, which is saying that Poibitora Wildlife Sanctuary, which hosts one of the largest rhino population. And even Supreme Court said that state government do not have any right in resolving the withdrawing of notification, which is saying that Poibitora Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said. And here you have to focus on some important facts regarding this rhinoceros, that too one-horned rhinoceros. And next topic here is, it is utmost important, that is PM launches portal for marginalized sectors. So our Prime Minister, he launched a portal. The portal name is Pradhan Mantri Samajik Utthan Evam Rozgar Adharit Jan Kalyan, that is PM Suraj portal. And this portal is going to give credit support to entrepreneurs from disadvantaged sections of society. Okay, so this is very important. So this PM Suraj portal is focusing on credit support for this disadvantaged sections of society, especially includes like scheduled castes, denotified, nomadic and semi-nomadic tribes, other backward classes, Safai Karmacharis. Okay, so these are the people who are getting this credit support under this portal. And especially this portal, it is a one-stop solution for the people from disadvantaged sections of society, and they can apply for monitoring the progress of all loan and credit schemes. Okay, so this is about this program, and this is very important, and there is a high chance of getting question regarding this PM Suraj. And if you move on, yes, panel recommends ban of furious dogs. So actually many people, they have an ambition, or even they will be having dogs as pets, and some of them, they will be having the pets of furious dogs. That means even they will be attacking the humans, and sometimes they kill the humans also. Okay, so here there is one panel, that is expert committee constituted by Department of Animal Welfare and Animal Husbandry, Ministry of Agriculture. So this panel recommended that certain breeds of furious dogs can be prohibited from being kept as pets. Okay, so which are those breeds? For example, Pit Bull Terrier, Tosa Inu, American Staffordshire Terrier, and Fila Brasilio Dog Argentino, American Bulldog, Boer Bull, Kangal, Central Asian Shepherd Dog, Caucasian Shepherd Dog, and South Mastiff, Rottweiler Terrier, Rhodesian Ridgeback, Wolf Dog, Carrier, Ashbash Dog, Moscow Guard Dog, Cane Corso. So, and these dogs are banned dogs in India now. So, please let me know anyone of you having these breeds in your home as pets. Okay. And if you move on, in this business page, there is one article, that is e-commerce for MSME exports. So, this article is very important because MSME, that is micro, small and medium enterprises, so they are very important for maintaining of our economic condition, and even they play a very important role in generation of employment. So now in this harsh reality of unemployment increasing day by day, so we have to provide support to this MSMEs. And even if you want to improve your exports also, it is very important. And in this world page, I saw one article which is important, that is Russia ready to use nuclear weapons if sovereignty is threatened, says Putin. So we have to wait and see what will be happening in future. So there are signs and signals here showing that we are going to have a nuclear war. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this class, and if you want to meet me directly, you can come to the office, and office is in Ashok Nagar, that too at pillar number 36, 9 East Steel Bridge, opposite to Vijaya Medicals, and that is in the 3rd and 4th floor. You can directly come to the 4th floor and you can fill the registration form so that you can have the test along with mentorship, along with prelims enrichment classes, so that there is a high chance of clearing your prelims. So thank you so much, and if you really like this class, hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to this Rathods Academy. And thank you so much for watching.